Oh, this is not a spring chicken. Oh, I don't know about you, post-Oscar. Yes, it's the day after Oscars. And, well, let's just say, was Oscar full of surprises?
No.
Yes and no. But mainly no, because we've already seen all the other awards. Oh, but we've got some Oscar wrap-up stuff coming to you, so you have to stay tuned. But meanwhile, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today.
1 step back, 2 steps forward, and 1 step back, you know.
And of course, if you notice that Oldecam's voice is changing, it might have to do with, let's see, post-Oscar.
Well, no, what it was is we were telling everybody last night at the James Franco party, which we were invited guest of. I said, because I'm the only, actually, I was the only member of the royal family that actually went to the Oscars, that one of the sore losers hit me in the nose because I had blood all down the front of my shirt. That isn't right, actually happened. A tall blonde took a flew on her arm and hit me in the face, so. And it wasn't because I was fresh, she was just trying to get through, so.
Oh, is that what it was?
Well, yeah.
And union protest fizzles across the nation.
Well, yeah. The best they could do was 70,000 people in Madison, Wisconsin. They instead of saying hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands, the mainstream press said thousands of people were sticking up for union rights across this nation.
Oh, the Academy Awards off to new fresh faces, or, oh, something that starts and gets worse.
Yeah, it basically, that's what I heard. That we went to the night of 100 stars last night, thanks to Ed Logia, and basically I was listening to people in the back, and the people in the back watching the show said, you know, they'd heard from the network, and they said it started out bad and just got worse.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Obama wants to spend even more money to save the country, and will not cut anything because of too important not to.
Can you imagine talking to the governor's meeting in New York, in Washington, D.C., and telling them, we cannot stop spending. We have to invest in infrastructure. We have to invest in education. We have to invest in green energy. That went over like a lead balloon among everybody, including the Democrats, because they got budget problems, and he's wanting to spend money that they want to correct their budgets with.
Oh, they're now understanding how it all works.
No, they still want him to spend money, but they want him to do money.
Spend money and correct the budget.
Is to get their budgets corrected and not do anything else. So.
And Libya after Gaddafi.
Probably going to be the same as Libya was with Gaddafi, because there's two military camps getting ready to fight it out. They're in a, what they said the United States could have prevented, except for Obama basically has, I don't interfere with dictators, only with people that are elected, and that there's now a civil war raging.
And Moody's got outlook for Japan credit rating.
Well, because Japan, I mean, I went to CES. And we're staying in our suite, and I'm talking to a Japanese businessman coming down, and he said, doesn't your president understand that we don't have any money in Japan? We can't buy anything, and because we can't buy anything, because nobody is buying what we're manufacturing. There's no money in this world.
And Obama attacks defending of Obamacare.
I love that. I mean, they're going to defund it. He says, we have done so much to change the healthcare landscape. We have cut costs, and they're snickering. Even the Democrats say it didn't cut costs. He said, well, the Congressional Budget Office has said, no one can say that this is not cutting costs, and they got more snickering. It was underfunded by $500 billion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Why unions are worth fighting for.
Which, basically, that was written by a union man. Okay, here's one. Supposedly, 61% of the people in this nation demand that unions be strengthened. If 61% of the people in this nation demand unions be stronger, then why are only 11% of the people in this nation union members? What happens is like I heard one of the pollsters say, you got to understand, it's how the questions are phrased and where the questions are asked. If you go to Allentown, Pennsylvania, you're going to get union. If you go to Pittsburgh, you're going to get union. If you go to Madison, Wisconsin, you're going to be talking to union people. And they said, they only got 61%, and he knew they went to union strongholds, which is bad.
Bahrain king releases political prisoners.
Yeah, he figured that's going to help. What's going to happen, if Bahrain goes down, we lose our place to dock our ships in the Middle East.
Oh, that's really bad.
That's where the fleet is headquartered as.
And Oscars go young and hip with traditional results.
Well, yeah, because the traditional results being is that Every year for the last 10 years has been worse than the preceding year except for one, and it basically tied. The ratings, no one is watching the show anymore. It's, well, because, okay, they're very proud to admit, even though the show's ratings were terrible, we only lost 2% of the targeted 18 to 49-year-old who don't watch the show to begin with, so losing 2% of people that don't watch the show is a disaster. Okay, we'll put it this way. Where were the young people in Hollywood last night that would be watching the show?
At the parties?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's more people than that. We're talking about LA.
Across the country, it was the same way.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember when my friend says, oh, we're going to an Oscar party.
Yeah. And it wasn't to watch the Oscars, it was to have a party.
Yeah, that's true.
They said,
I mean, that's kind of like the Super Bowls. You just go to the Super Bowl party to have a party.
I asked one of the women that was over at our table last night, they said, you went to the Elton John, she was talking about, she had her Elton John thing. You went to the Elton John viewing party? She said, and then she asked me, do you know which movies won the Oscars? They're not there. They're there to go to the party, not to watch the Oscars.
Well, did she have a good time at the party? What'd she say?
Well, she said, I wouldn't pay for it again.
It was a viewing party.
Yeah.
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 And,
I know, isn't that a good one?
Obama, what?
That's not a ringing endorsement. It's the after party, which you got to have another ticket for. So.
That's the one you want to go to.
Yeah, but that would cost like 10 grand a person.
Obama, public employees should not be vilified.
Well, let's see. The guys that are paying the salaries of the people that are on strike in Madison don't make as much money per hour, they don't make as much money a year, and they don't have the benefits that the people that are striking do. And they're basically, the teachers union, we have to strike up to stand for better education as the kids aren't being taught.
Egypt's asked for freeze on Mubarak assets. Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Well, yeah, but no, they did it again. They're after his assets now in Switzerland. You have to, all over the world they're freezing it, which basically gives no incentive for any of those people in any of those Arab countries to. Okay, they said, well, they think they're all going to Venezuela. Well, this morning the prediction was that the credit rating is going to go down to nil in Venezuela because the oil production is only 50% of what it used to be before Chavez took over, and they can't pay their bills worldwide now.
Oh.
Well, they just spent $1.5 billion to buy submarines from the Soviet Union.
Somali pirate seized cargo ship with 23 crew.
Okay, I'm going to, they say, well, there's 23 ships in that area to patrol, and it's such a large region. Well, you move the ships in within about 10 miles of the country. These guys have they got boats that can't go 40 miles out. If you were to swing them 100 miles out and swing around and keep the picket line shutting everybody from the country off, you never have any problem. Basically, you lay siege to the country, and the country basically has to stop it.
The Security Council condemns Libya crackdown.
Oh yeah, they really got serious with them. Shame, shame, shame on you. And you know what else they did? Hillary is going to lecture them today in Switzerland.
Ooh.
Would you want to have Hillary Clinton going like that at you?
U.S. officials, 4 Americans dead in UAE plane crash.
Yeah, they think it's suspicious that happened. They don't like Americans over in the Muslim countries, folks.
Yemen's president rejects demands to step down.
Because he's got nowhere to go. If these people step down, Obama has made certain that there's no reason for. That's one of the things they said, that Obama screwed up so badly. You want the guys out, and once the guys are out, all of them are out, then you go after their assets. Because if you do it before, they've got nowhere to run to.
Special report: U.S. cabbies detail Saudi royal welfare program.
Yeah, they don't work. That is something we have discovered, that the programs that are funded by billions of dollars in foreign countries aren't working either.
Countries scramble to evacuate citizens from Libya.
Oh yeah, I mean they're flying them out this morning they said, I think the British sent in the Royal Air Force with cargo planes with overhead fighter planes to get their people out, and they say, well, why wouldn't Obama do that? And they said, well, because Obama might have offended.
Oh.
It might have offended somebody, and that Obama doesn't offend any Muslim, unless you're a duly elected Muslim.
High pump prices rattle drivers and businesses.
Yeah, and it's getting me problems and stuff, but yeah.
I know, and a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
That if you try to plug the hole in the dike after the flood has occurred, you're bound to get into trouble.